So I know we were talking about it today. Kansas City had a collapse a couple days ago.
Right?
Yeah, 2 injured, 2 dead due to a building collapse. And so we want you guys to have the understanding, not just for your truck portion of this, but when you guys are out there on the engines, don't be idiots when you show up. Okay, take the stuff that you know, because one of the things that our department does well is we run the fire the same on every building, regardless of construction, occupancy type. If you guys haven't noticed, we're starting to get better. We don't have necessarily a lightweight play and a conventional play. We'll talk about those, but we tend to do them all the same. Some they work well for, some they don't. Some we may need to adjust. So I want you guys to have a good understanding, especially as it relates to truck work and you guys are on the trucks. Because you guys will have the best vantage point to really determine what type of construction the people underneath are working on. Okay. Strong points of the structure: access, egress, ventilation, feasibility, and predict fire extension. Right? Anybody have the classes yet where you make entry, or if you guys are talking to fruit school, through the door? And what do you guys do once you get through the door?
Check above you.
Check above you, check below. Check the ceiling above you, right? How do you check it?
Pipe holes, open it up.
And open it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been on a fire yet?
Here,
Yeah. At all?
it's always, yeah.
Okay.
But
So what do you
it's
see?
always loud.
What do you see above you?
You're just checking to see if the fire's made its way over to where your egress is.
But generally,
That's
what do you see? Do you have a lot of smoke in there?
No.
No, in the entry? Okay, well, welcome to Salt Lake City, because you'll get in there, you open up the door, and it's smoke down to about here, right? But you're poking a hole. I always wonder what in the hell you're looking for. And I've been told in my classes, well, you're looking to find what the construction is above you. I can't see my hand above my face. And I'm going to look up in there and see what it is. And so it's one of those things of, maybe that's something we should start to look at, because our fire attack, really, if that boundary is between, now think about what you're doing, because that was probably about the time you were putting the fan on the door, right? So no established exhaust point, building sealed up, fan rolled in a door, and I just put a hole right there. Now as I go in that way, if there is fan in the attic, where is it pushing everything down? Right behind me. So we gotta look at the stuff that we're doing. And a good understanding of building construction is gonna help us out with that. So, you haven't had one yet? That's too bad. We haven't really had
It's
one.
always out, man.
That's a good thing then.
Okay, you're welcome, Davidson. Oh, yeah, so yeah, it's actually Dan.
Drop the mic.
Dan's a real truckie, so he's done all the work by the time we get there.
Okay. Well, that is having fun. Okay. SIZA, our SIZA, evaluation based on current knowledge. Okay, what we know. Okay, formulate a plan of action, put stuff into place. Okay, look at occupancy type, exposures, and involvement. The biggest thing is where the fire is at right now, where is it likely to be, and understanding building construction and how things are put together. We're going to help you guys to do that. All right. And I'm not beating up on you necessarily, but it is one of those things where I always got to question what we do. You know, I'll get the tick. Well, if I can't see my hand from my face, I can't see the tick either. And so on the trucks, if you physically get up there, we'll talk about what your responsibility is, then you can give people a different set of eyes around the fire ground. Okay. Identify construction will help to make decisions pertaining to structural integrity, ladder placement, forcible entry, search and rescue, ventilation. All the truck work that you're going to do, it starts with how's the building put together, where's the fire located, what's the occupancy. All right, and then you can start formulating a plan. Okay. While conducting a size up, try to identify what's beneath the exterior. So, what type of construction is this?
Lightweight.
Okay, lightweight. Anybody else?
Ordinary.
Ordinary. Anybody else?
Multifamily.
That's an occupancy type, right? And so this is why I ask this stuff, because by the time we're done, it should all be the same. So if we don't define it as a department, we expect to get what we have right here. We have lightweight. Is it lightweight? No. Is it conventional or ordinary? No. Okay. Those are concrete posts and columns. Okay. It's non-combustible, and they have reinforced concrete for the floors and for the roof. And so that's all non-combustible, and it's just filled in with brick. Okay. They have a hard time blowing those things up and bringing them down. So it's collapse an issue. Okay, occupancy type, multiple family dwelling. Are people inside an issue? You bet. Where's the fire located? Where are the people most likely in danger? What do I do to get hose to where I need to be? And how to get the people out? Who's most likely in danger? What's evacuation? And what's rescue? All right? All that from building construction. So when we're done, I want you guys to be able to rattle some stuff off. Okay? So in your types of construction, that type 1 or 2? Okay, type 2, all right? And the big part where it comes in is your type 3 and above, and we'll talk about where that'll change and hopefully put some good working knowledge in that for you. Okay, from the ground, look it up. Anybody recognize this building? Stratford, okay, second now. We would think this is an old building, relies on mass, right? Old conventional built construction, all right? Those upper windows, you're not looking at a blue painted ceiling, you're looking at the sky. All right, they had the fire in there, they ripped everything out. What do you think they replaced it with? Lightweight. All right, so sometimes what you see, and we'll go over a 3-step method on how to size stuff up as far as lightweight or conventional, but one of the steps in the size up is actually physically looking at the structural members and why it's important, okay? Because if they had the construction on there with the original fire that is there now, things would have been a lot different, okay, and not in our favor. So we want to identify our construction style, okay? So what are we talking about with construction style? Okay, lightweight, conventional. Also the other types, we'll get those and talk about those as well and how they pertain. Roof styles, you can like put over in your book. There are some very significant roof styles that you should be aware of that, just by knowing what style it is, you can tell where structural members are, you can tell the weak points, you can tell the strong points right off the bat. Newer construction, anybody live in Sandy? Okay, or south end of the valley, there's a lot of newer homes. There's really no true definition to a roof style with lightweight. All the trusses that have come in, you can't define it as any one. That's one of the nice things about helping knowing your roof styles and looking at them and identifying old construction, because there are only a few different kinds. And that tells you the difference as far as how the roof is put together and what your operating time is, and we'll talk about that. Construction methods, okay, the age of the building. All right, conventional versus lightweight. Construction styles. All right, does that pertain to, what's type 1? Okay, fire resistant. Type 2? Non-combustible. Are we worried about lightweight and conventional on those two? No. So we get into type 3. Okay, so if I have a 100 by 200 foot ordinary built 3-story commercial structure, all right, what are the things that I need to think about if I arrive at and we have fire? What's on your mind?
Void spaces.
Okay, void spaces.
Heavy HVAC units up top, maybe.
Okay, yeah, probably big air handlers, dead loads on the roof.
Renovating stuff, retrofitted old newer systems on something that wasn't originally designed for.
Okay, so renovations to it, alterations in the construction, stuff of that nature. Okay, point being, sounds like a pretty complete size up, right? Engine 2's arrived. We have a 100 by 200 commercial structure, 3-story, ordinary construction, fire in the Charlie N. Does that tell you everything you need to know? What's it missing? Okay, type 3, what is a type 3? Tell me the structural components of it. Okay, masonry walls.
Lightweight interior.
Lightweight interior. Can be.
Combustible interior.
It's combustible. Okay, is it combustible and going to last a long time? Or is it a bunch of sticks with a lot of surface area that's going to fail quickly? Is it lightweight or is it conventional? So you guys were given all that cool stuff in recruit school, right? And everything, if you guys haven't noticed, is ordinary. It's got 4 walls and a roof. It's ordinary. Okay? Not so. But the biggest thing that we want to start changing is as you guys go through your apprenticeship, you get your officer role, start putting in your brain, because when you call lightweight versus conventional, you just put a whole other time frame. You put a 5 to 7 minute time frame on structural impingement versus a 20-minute. Okay, so our operations on, say, conventional can be a lot more aggressive than on lightweight. Lightweight, typically, if you want to be successful on it, what we've learned is you have to write a portion of it off. Give it up, it's gone, in order to save the rest of it. Okay, one thing that Salt Lake City's not doing well, you guys haven't been able to tell, is for us, they're all the same building. We're going to go save it all. Okay, I can tell you on lightweight, we haven't been very successful, and so we need to change things. But we want to know, is it lightweight or is it conventional? Okay? So conventional, what defines conventional? All right? We're using mass to gain strength. All right? So with that mass, because less surface area, because we got good rough sawn 3x12s for roof members and for floor joists. okay, that are maybe lead set or have a ledger board that are set into the walls, all right? These things can take a pounding. We can operate in them, on them, around them, as long as we can take the heat. We can do a lot, we can be very aggressive, all right? Where this stuff is gonna really pertain to you guys is, you start getting up on the east side where, Harvard, Yale, those avenues up in there where they're mowing down old houses and putting brand new stuff. Well, they make the brand new stuff look just like the old stuff. We have to differentiate of, do I have 5 to 7 minutes? Do I have 20? You're walking in on a hose line. Just a simple look and a couple of key factors of where am I willing to go? What am I willing to do based on what potential harm could take place? That being said, are a lot of firefighters dying from structural collapse in residential fires? There's plenty of hallways around. Even if stuff comes in, you have all sorts of voids and everything to make you safe. Okay? But basically, conventional size equals strength. Okay? Just a couple of examples. Okay, those are rough sawn 3x12s. You can see unreinforced masonry building. What are the things we look for to define whether it's unreinforced masonry? Pre-30s in your book, right?
Stars.
Okay, you could have some of those cast iron stars, the tie plates.
King rows.
King rows, okay?
Window set.
Window sets, all right, deep window sets, king rows. So you're looking at the thickness of the walls, how it's put together, okay? According to your book, and in real life, where I have the king rows, do I have steel in that wall? No. That's why they do them, right? They tie the wall in where, 30s to 60s, they went ahead and started putting steel in that wall, became, bomb-proof. All right, so recognizing those things. So look at the thickness of the walls. If they have thick walls, usually has a thick roof. Okay, look at the age of the building. It was built before 1960, where if you've seen king rows, it's definitely pre-30s. All right, so I don't have a massive wall. Massive wall tells me I have a massive roof, so by the age of the wall and the thickness of it, it tells me it's older. That thing's gonna stick around. If we get a fire, it's gonna stick around for a while, okay? So collapse is a little bit different. So look at the exterior walls. If the walls are thick, usually indicate by recessed windows. The structure is more likely using mass for its strength. But like I showed you on the second, what can happen? The older the building, someone brought up renovation, okay? You get these older buildings, might throw a curveball at you. Sometimes insurance companies, before that building changes hands, they come out and do their inspection. It's an old dilapidated roof. They'll have to put a whole new roof system in. Okay? It's not uncommon, but you should be able to find, be heads up on it, be able to recognize it. Okay, the age of the structure. Does it look old or new? If it was built in the last 30 years, it's most likely to be lightweight. Okay? The house on the left, all right, you look at the windows. The windows are flush to the exterior. It's a thin wall. Looks like it was built within the last 30 years, probably in the 80s. All right, that's lightweight versus the one on the right. Even residential homes, you'll have inset windows, wood sashes, stuff of that nature. You might have a stone foundation that looks old. You can tell the walls are thick because the windows set into it. That thing was put together with nails and rough sawn timbers. It's going to last for a while. Okay? Visualize the roof rafters. And so this is the one who I was busting your balls on, was you usually can't see that stuff from the bottom, especially you get on a large commercial and your ceiling's 20 feet up. That ain't going to happen. And so if you're topside, you get there, engines should be looking at age of the structure, they look at the thickness of the walls, hedging their bet on whether it's lightweight or conventional. But once you're on the truck and you get topside, you pop an inspection cut in there, that tells the tale, right? Then you can see everything. There's no guessing at that point. So that one on second of the Stratford, if I was to pull up that and not knowing it had a fire, then I look at the age of the building, it's old, it's got thick walls. I make the roof, get up, pop an inspection cut, and I see, wow, doubled up 2x6 trusses. Command and everybody else probably ought to know that, because that just changed maybe how close and aggressive we want to be on fighting that fire. Okay? On residential, you're looking for rough sawn or larger that are nailed rather than gusset plates. Okay? That's conventional. Commercial roofs, if you see a 2x4 on a commercial roof, it's lightweight. Okay? 2x6 or larger on a commercial roof, it'll be conventional. All right? Lightweight. Unlike conventional construction, where again, conventional construction, you get mass. All right, lightweight, and I know you guys learned about it in recruit school, but we'll just, a refresher on it. You have what? Geometry, right? They engineered this shit together, and they put it together, and so you take any piece out because it's designed to work as a system, right? A truss is a system. And so it's designed to work as a system, and so you start taking pieces out of that system, what happens? Okay, it's going to start failing, it's going to get weak. And so that's where lightweight, all right, again, look at the age of the structure. Was it built in the last 30 years? Are the windows flush set, or are they into the wall? If they're not, well, walls 9 inches or less, hey, that's a thinner wall. So I got a newer building with thinner walls denoted by the flush set windows, I'm going with lightweight. You get up there, you pop a hole in it, you know, if it's something other than, because sometimes you have these facades on the front of the building, then, you know, you can translate that to command as well. Okay? So, lightweight residential, okay, more exposed surface area. I love this picture because you look at how much exposed surface area is on a truss constructed system, and it touches off, and all that stuff starts giving off its gases and starts burning. That's a, you know, it's just a tinderbox right there. There's a lot of product that can be burned, okay? So, a lot of exposed surface area. Gusset plates, what's bad about the gusset plates?
Burn quickly.
The metal and they don't bite in very deep.
Pop out.
Okay, rate of char for wood, 3/8 of an inch every 5 minutes. Okay, depth of a gusset plate, 3/8 to 1/4, if you're lucky. So you got expanding metal and a gusset plate sitting in a piece of wood, and you expect it to last? Hell no. Okay, so all that exposed surface area gusset plates make it weak. Okay, the roof deck made of 4x8 sheets, usually 9/16, okay, put together with glue. All right, rather than 1x6 slats, you know, you're going to have a quicker failure rate. Again, you know, you can watch a lot of the videos, and we'll talk a little bit more about truss constructed residential systems as well. But not a lot of people die due to structural failure, okay? Because usually they come in pieces. There'll be failure to them, but they're going to fail in sections. It's not catastrophic. You get a lot of holes and stuff like that. But commercial structures, these are the ones to really be heads up about. And again, they're going to fail in sections. They're just larger sections. So you're working inside. There's enough smoke that you can't delineate where the land beam is. But you know it's in that section of the building. All right, and it's been going 5 to 7 minutes. And you have exposed trusses on the underside, the parallel cord trusses on the underside. Worry about that cord burning out, but you can't even see it. That might be one of those things where, yeah, I'll get 100 feet back, because I know it's not going to go past 100 feet. Widest span on 60 feet, get in a safe area and work from that, right off a portion of it. But these large spans are the ones to really be heads up about, because there's no hallways and no walls in these, right? This is where we see people get into trouble if their positioning is bad. So whether you're on a truck or whether you're on an engine, keep in mind, this is what you're working underneath. And if you're on the truck, yeah.
Can you walk through that land beam 60 feet? Like
Okay.
your mental process for that, sorry.
I don't know
I was
if
hearing all the
mental
terms.
process. So this is a land beam, okay? The larger structural member land beams, okay? And so your trusses, a truss generally goes 60 to 70 feet, can go
Okay.
60 to 70 feet unsupported.
Okay,
And so if you have a bearing wall on the outside
right.
and your trusses are running off the wall, if the next closest wall isn't within 60 feet, then they put a land beam in there.
Okay.
And that's it acts like a bearing wall. Sometimes you'll find physical walls in there, okay, and they're bearing as well, or you'll find a steel post of some sort and a land beam on it.
Is there a maximum stretch for that land beam before you have to put that support?
Not
post in it?
necessarily, because they're going to be supported by these posts,
Okay.
okay, and depending on how it's engineered, the thickness of it, obviously the thicker they make it, the longer span it can go. So does that make more sense? Yeah.
Are those land beams, they're glued together too, right?
Another glue band.
So do they start to fail after?
They do,
some
but
time?
again, because they are so thick, the exposed surface area could take it could take a beating. And so, yeah, I mean, you put enough heat to anything, it'll light off, but it could take a beating just because of the thickness of it. So, this is what you'll find. They're large spans that you need to worry about. You know, they're engineers, so when you start taking a piece out of anything, and if you look at the most exposed area, it's going to be that bottom cord. Okay, and so recognizing, and these ones aren't too hard to find. You know, you get on a large commercial building, you make the roof, it's a flat roof, depending on the thickness of the walls. Usually everybody's on the same page. Just be heads up of where people are going. If you're working topside, look for those landmarks. Look for areas that are good to be in and that are not good to be in. Look at your inspections. We'll, you know, the captain should be in communication with command of, and it's not good 30 feet out from the Charlie end. We're seeing sagging, well, actually, you won't even see any sagging, you know, it's up or down. But direct flame impingement on structural members, no go, okay? And then you can also, it's nice because you can easily see fire separation, you can see everything topside that you may not be seeing from the bottom, okay? Identifying lightweight, look at the exterior walls. If they're thin, less than 9 inches, okay, usually they're about 4 to 6 inches. You can really tell because the windows are going to set flush to the exterior. Residential, commercial, you have flat walls, thin walls with flush set windows. Concrete tilt, that's easy to identify. Anything of that nature, you're usually looking at lightweight. Okay, new and old, again, look at the age of the structure. Okay, we're dealing with something that is built within the last 30 years or something that was prior to that. And that's where there's any question, that visualization is what's going to get you. If you get there and it's really a thing of I don't know, that's why age, thickness, and then visually look and see what's going on. That way you can see and you can communicate that in something other than what command may have called the size up. Okay, visualize the rafters, same process in both. Okay. Truss construction. Are all trusses the same?
No.
Obviously not, because I have 2 different types up here. So, timber trusses and lightweight trusses. Okay, top picture is from the old carriage house. That would be an example of a timber truss. Okay, it's not lightweight. It's actually put together, rather than gusset plates, it has large panhead bolts that go through it, that are embedded into the wood, that are insulated and protected as well, versus the lightweight trusses that you have that are being set on that commercial structure. Okay, thin gusset plates, stuff of that nature. Okay, the timber truss is going to last a long time. You're still looking at your 20-minute operating time around the area of involvement versus your lightweight truss. Now you're looking at 5 to 7. Okay, but on the timber truss or lightweight, the thing we always worry about is that bottom cord. Why?
Holds together.
Yeah, it's meant as it's an entire unit. It's meant to be together. Once you start taking pieces out, failure's potential, right? So, what's the point of the webbing? Draw pictures over here.
Distribute the weight.
Triangles.
Okay, distribute the weight, triangles. Triangles, all right. Shape threads. What the fuck's a triangle mean? This one, the video camera's on this way. Okay, so if I have a truss, these are all connection points, right? Triangles, yeah, triangles. Okay, so what do the triangles do for us?
Give it a strength, weight distribution.
Okay, weight distribution. So if this is our top chord, right? This is going to be top, obviously. It's going to be bottom. Then you have your webbing through here. All right. If this is a 2x4, they use 2x4s to construct this. How far can a 2x4 go unsupported?
8 feet.
8 feet. All right. How do I support it? Using the web, right? And so at this collection point right here, I can go 8 feet on a 2x4, and then the support comes from this piece of structure that the webbing that ties into the bottom cord right here and gives that structural stability for its compressive strength. Agreed? Okay, and then another, how far can you go from here to here? Another 8 feet. Okay, what if they're 2x6? 12 feet. 2x8, 16, right on up. Okay, so you can see if this bottom cord burns out, now what happens to this? Loses its compressive strength, does it not? Okay, just by the weight of it, it becomes flimsy and weak. All right, so if this was in a residential structure, usually you have some box vents up here, something of that nature, right? So if you guys will notice, go back and you can look at other fires, stuff like that on lightweight. When these fail, when the heat goes up, it wants to go where? Out this vent. And so if you guys will notice, on these, it's usually only about the top third that fails. You don't get a full collapse underneath, right? Okay? Because most of the bottom cords on residential are covered with sheetrock, have insulation on them. There's a lot of areas that can absorb heat. All that heat gets transferred to the upper portion because it's doing what heat does, it goes up. And that's where you get your failure. Make sense? Okay? Questions on how they work. Now if you look at your parallel cords, right? Top and bottom cord are parallel. Usually have either tubular metal, sometimes it's angular, depending if it's non-combustible or not, or it may be, looks like a rebar. Hey, same thing, top cord, bottom cord. Right? If the bottom burns out, what happens? You get failure. If this thing spans 50 to 60 feet, what happens to that whole section? Okay. Yeah, but now past that section where you don't have any involvement, any issues? Generally not. So your area of involvement, you'll have those issues, and a lot of times what ends up happening, your area of involvement, you maybe get a little bit of collapse over there. If there's anybody underneath it, that's a bad day, but it helps confine the fire, then we end up putting it out. Okay. Chief Carson and Kraus, that whole crew from Fort Keens, that got the International Center brought down their heads. If you ever get a chance to, well, Carson comes around every now and again, that Kraus, I think he's at 3s on B2 maybe, pick his brain about it. No notification systems. So passerby called it in at 5 in the morning, they go in, they have decent smoke. It was an involved diesel tractor inside a lightweight, flat roof, concrete tilt building. And they just started putting a little bit of water on it. Next thing you know, they're seeing stars. Okay. The trusses, I think they're on 4-foot centers, one on this side, one on this side for Carson, one on this side, one on this side for Kraus. Two of the luckiest guys in the world. They still got their bells rung, but not being able to see what was above them, can you blame them? They went in, light smoke, didn't look like too much. Okay? Chief Gowdy was the battalion chief on that call, and we talk often. His biggest regret was he didn't have somebody up on the roof like that, because you think we'd be able to see something from up there? Oh yeah. We're sounding out our way to where we want to go work, and all of a sudden you're punching right through the deck. Hey, it's bad over here. And so everything I was telling them was lightweight. They just didn't have anybody up there to see really what was going on. So your ticks, all that stuff, when you're in a smoky environment, you can't see what's above your head and what's going on. That's where you got to get topside and look at that.
It was exposed rafters,
Uh-huh.
and it was lightweight, like just a
Concrete tilt building, no suppression systems, no notification systems, and yeah, it was clear from in the warehouse from the floor to the ceiling, about a 20-foot ceilings on it.
So that's like an open wide bar joist.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, you said a tractor trailer that was involved?
Yeah, as the tractor portion is parked inside, that little car fire.
So just
Torched up that area. Next thing they started hitting with a little bit of water,
okay.
just stirred it up a little bit, and down it came. Okay. And the point is, because you guys, I think you all know me good enough. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you scare stories so you don't go do your job. Bullshit. I want you to go do your fucking job. Okay? But be smart about it when you're doing it. All right. If you sit there and you realize, hey, this is lightweight. It spans large distances. It's got a bit of involvement, and you guys should by now be looking at the differentiation between structural smoke versus content smoke, stuff like that. Use that size of stuff in your brain so you don't go into the same all the time. You make good decisions. That's all we're trying to get out of you. Yeah, shit. Yeah.
For the unsupported, since you're just multiplying the numbers in 2-bys, is that the same for a 4x4 or like a 4-by? So like would a 4x4 go 16 feet unsupported?
Mm-hmm.
Just multiply.
Yeah, you guys read a lot about panelized roofs in your book. There's probably a dozen of them in the Salt Lake Valley for a reason it's skipped. But the traditional panelized roof, you'll have your walls. Off your walls, you'll have purlins, 4x4s. Okay, those 4x4s will span 16 feet out into a land beam. Okay, off those 4x4s, your purlins span 8. In between them, you have 2x4s. So 2x4s tie into the purlins tie into land beams are 16 feet out. So,
Chris, were those purlins tying into the beams, are they sitting on top or are they just
no, that's the tricky part is they're just
They're
metal hangers.
on hangers? Okay.
Yeah, so that's really the weakest part. Metal hangers with Tico nails.
And staying with the 2x4s, they're hung sitting up the purlins that way?
Yeah. So it's a good roof set. It's a California version of a lightweight roof system, and that's why you read about it so much in your book. You don't see them out here. We see the land beams with lightweight parallel core trusses tied into them. So, questions on that stuff? And it's pretty fun when you see those things. There are different ways of cutting them, but you just recognize what it is. And the biggest thing, if you guys walk away with today, is how's the building put together? Is it lightweight? Is it conventional? What's my operating time? Where can I operate aggressively? And where do I need to be a little less aggressive? Okay, so size up wise, what are we looking for? Three things: age,
Construction style.
age, thickness, okay, and then visualize the structural members, okay? Two things from the ground you can do: the age of the building, the thickness of the walls. Okay, the thing you got to do from top side is look at the structural members. Okay, so however you guys want to remember it, but start throwing that into your size up as you're rolling up of new, old, thick, thin, and what am I dealing with when I look at it. All right, roof styles. All right, we're gonna look at a couple of them that you know are pretty basic, and then we'll talk about some that you're seeing that are less easily defined, because we always get the question, well, what if it has a hip end and this and that, so we'll talk about that as well. The gabled, hip, flat, arch, sawtooth, these are all the standard ones that you'll find in the books. Okay, our gabled end, that's just our standard looking house. Okay, pitched roof onto the gabled sides. The pitched roof, the weight of it goes on to the front and the back, so opposite the gable side, the front and back is where the load-bearing portions are. And on the underside, you'll have what looks like this, for the most part. Okay, and we're talking about this a little bit. So conventional style, we have a ridge board, okay, at the peak. You have your rafters coming down, 1x6 open space sheathing. Why do we have open space sheathing?
Ventilation.
Ventilation, right? It's how the whole thing is going to breathe. When you see 4x8 sheets that go over top of that 1x6, they go back and you'll see box vents, or you'll see a gable vent added, or a ridge vent, okay? So when you see an old home that has thicker walls, and you get to the top and you go to cut through, and you're cutting through 4x8 sheets, all right? Reason being, it's been re-roofed. You should be able to tell that because you get there, it's an old home that's got thick walls, and I see box vents. Okay, well, original issue didn't have box vents. It breathed through your open space sheathing. Okay, questions on that? Okay. Ceiling joists, 2x6s. Now think about where you would see, say, your bungalow style, your west side bungalow. If I had 2x6 joists, how far can they go unsupported? 12 feet. So from the wall, if I'm in a bedroom, from the wall to the door, what's usually off the door? A hallway. Wouldn't that make sense that one of those walls in the hallway is load bearing? That sits right underneath where the ridge is? Okay, these are all strong points within a building. Okay, collar beam was before truss construction. So inside you see rough sawn 2x4s that are usually spanning, a 15, 16 foot run on there. So they would just nail one board to one side on the rafter to the other, use it kind of like a truss system. It would support the weight of it. Okay, so that's all that is. All right, on lightweight, you have your rafters, you have your web, your top cord, your bottom cord. So the top side are the rafters, the top cord, the bottom is the ceiling joist. Okay, then you have your web that's going to support it. All right, what are you missing? Ridge board. Okay, so when you see people get up on, especially large, lightweight pitched roofs, gabled roofs, and start traveling the ridge, bad things are going to happen. Right? We had some guys, their operation was successful. We went back and looked at it, and they got lucky because there's no ridge board where they were walking. Okay, and so knowing your job, you get there and you determine it's lightweight. It's newer construction. It has thin walls. You get up and you decide you want to travel out, and you're going to go out over the ridge. And you got good smoke pushing from all your attic vents. Are you making a good choice? No. Typically on these, what we like to do is ladder close to where we're going to work. So if I come from the bottom up, all my heat's being collected in here, and it's going out that vent, it's collected and starting to char up in here. Well, if I work from the bottom up, make my hole, and retreat back down, good things should happen. Okay, if you watch the old Phoenix video where you see the guys stepping through, every place where you see people stepping through lightweight, notice where they're doing it, because it'll usually be up here. If it's down here, the only reason is because you'll see sometimes when they have dormers. So if this was set up in a dormer, all this area would be occupied, and so this would be a void space. It comes out the window. You also notice that you have box vents down low rather than up high. Why would that be? Because there's a void in there. And so be sure you know what you're dealing with, and you have the strong areas to travel and work from. All right? It's pretty simple to do, but you got to get out and look at them. Yeah.
Talking about that ridge beam, in the book it makes it sound like a bungalow style with just a house that didn't have a ridge beam, but it was 2x6, 2x12, just the rafters were tied into themselves. Is that basically what a bungalow is, or did I just not understand that?
Bungalow would be a type of home. If it's an old conventional bungalow like you see over on the west side here, it'll have a ridge board.
Okay.
So I don't know, I'm not sure which part of you're talking about, but
Find it.
yeah, maybe we'll hear some after that.
It made it seem like you just take the ridge board out and the rafters would just sit together.
Okay?
is what it kinda
And he
explained.
called it a bungalow, I think.
Yeah, that might be a bungalow in California. Here, you got a ridge board.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll find that common here, and mostly by the age of the building.
Okay.
So you'll have a ridge board.
Okay.
So I'll have to go back and look at that section. Okay. Gusset plates, we talked about those. The biggest thing is they set so little into the wood. And if you take the char rate coupled with the thickness of where those gusset plates set in, expanding metal, and you can see why they have a quick failure. All right. Hip style roof, where are the strong places to travel, you think? Okay, anywhere over the wall. Is the ridge good on this one? Is this lightweight or conventional? Okay. Does it look new or old? Okay. Looks newer because of the vinyl siding?
Unless they're trying to cover something on.
Renovate it.
Look at the windows.
Outside it could be newer.
Looks steady.
Windows look set in, don't they? Is that a wood or vinyl? Kind of looks wood, doesn't it? I'll tell you it's wood. Is it new or old? It's old. Are the walls thick or thin?
Got the brick chimney.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good catch with the Adobe vent pipes. Don't see that on too many Draper homes, do you? All right. So it's an older home. Okay, you look at the walls. The walls tell you that the windows are not set flush. It's got thick walls, so this is conventional. Okay, and so if it's conventional, does it have a ridge board?
Yes.
It does. It also has a hip rafter. So safe places to travel on conventional construction, wherever two pieces of the roof join, on your hips, on your valleys, across the ridge or over the walls. You can walk all over these things. That's why they're great. They make us look cool, like we know what we're doing. Okay? If I had a district full of nothing but lightweight, that couldn't be nearly as cool.
Can you explain the jack rafter and where that is?
A jack rafter
Okay.
in roof construction?
It's just on the last slide. I read about it in the book, but didn't really understand it.
So this rafter runs from wall to ridge. These short ones run from wall into the hip rafter. It's not joined into the whole system. Another place would be in a doorway. Okay, you have doubled out studs, you got a king, you got a jack. The jack sits low on the sill plate. That's what your sill plate to your window sits on. Okay, that's what bears the load on the upper sill portion. Okay. Hip rafter on lightweight. Okay, you still have a hip rafter on lightweight. Okay, it's a safe place to travel. Same with valleys, but you're just looking at no ridge board. Okay, so again, lightweight. Work from the walls. Biggest thing I can tell you is recognize it. Work from the wall up. Okay, what else would be a good idea if you're working on the roof? What could you use to disperse your weight?
Roof ladder.
A roof ladder. So even if it's not a severe pitch, okay, it's a low pitch and sunny day, there's no slip hazard, it's still a good idea to put one out. I'm not saying I always do, but it's a good idea. So, you know, you got to go with what you're seeing when you arrive. If I get there, it's just smoke pushing out, I'm not too worried. If it's a lot of smoke, it's under pressure, and some funky colors, I think about it. So, just stuff to consider. Strong points, again, like you guys said, over the walls, hips, Valleys, okay? What else about a valley? You guys played on many roofs yet? No?
No, a few.
Okay. If you have an 8-12 pitch and you can find a valley, that valley drops down to about a 6-12 pitch. So they're a great place to work off for less of a vertical incline, okay, softer pitch to it, stronger area, and we take advantage of them when we can. I look for them in spots to throw my ladder so I can step right off onto a valley, anchor off of that, and cut my hole if it's the correct place to go. Same with the hip. Okay? This is an 8-12, you can see the lower angle you get on a hip. All right. Okay, ridge is a good place. Is it if this is lightweight? Okay, now you see this from a little further back. Is it new or old? Anybody live in a newer home? Okay, do you have a door like that on your newer home? Okay. So I want you guys, when you get out of here, start looking at stuff and how it's put together. All right, it's your job. You know, I'm not going to be dramatic. It's your life. You're going to die if you don't. But I can tell you right now, you're not going to be a good fireman if you don't understand how this stuff is put together. That's why collectively, usually our people in this business have come from trades because they have some good working knowledge in that area. We're finding less and less people have time to spend in trades, right? Because you have to select your college curriculum in the second grade and make a path, otherwise you're going to be a failure, right? So most people you're finding they didn't have that advantage, and so. You guys are going to be, if you haven't worked in construction and done that stuff, and even if you have, to go back and look at it from a firefighter perspective, and I want to know at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know whether that's new or old, whether it's conventional or lightweight, so you guys can operate and be aggressive. It gives you that ability to be aggressive, know where you can hang it out and where you can't. Yeah.
What about the door makes it old? Is it because it's skinny and doesn't have a window next to it, or?
It's a wood panel door, right? You have stiles and rails and then thin paneling in between and a plate glass window with an old door and lock on it. I mean, unless you get some yuppies who go and buy the old shit from the antique places and put them on their new house, but even then, I mean, you can tell it doesn't match the rest of it. So, yeah. And if you know, and it's hard to see with pictures, but you know, these old check rail windows with the wood frames and the plate glass in them, dead giveaway. And again, I'll point out some flush set windows to you when you see them, but you know, newer ones, newer ones, they sit flush to the outside. So go look through your neighborhoods, because it should start banging off on you of, yeah, it is. That window's flat to the outside. Versus your drive down 9th West over here, no, those windows set in. You know, and sometimes it'll be a little, you know, if it's during that 60 to 70 era, you might have some aluminum frame windows, but those are usually part of conventional construction too. So look at these places and start getting your size up dialed in. Even when you go on medicals, it's the best place. When you guys go on medical, size that thing up like you're arriving on a fire. When you get inside, take a look around. It's the best time to do it because we don't get into any homes. I had a lady call me today about a house up in the Avenues. Might possibly get permits on it tomorrow. If she does, I'm sure we'll be out there and let you guys know. Because I want you guys up on these roofs. You know, even if you're destined to be a medic, you know, it'll still be good to get up there and know what's above your head. Okay, flat roofs. These are the ones that we watch out for. Okay, again, large spans. We have these very large spans, usually a good dead load up top someplace with air handlers and so forth. But just the gravity of it, the weight of it, if it does fail, it can do a lot of damage. Okay? And so just looking at this one, you think it's new or old? Okay? Why do you think it's new?
It's got a rubber membrane as opposed to gravel and tar.
Okay, and that would be a good curveball, but if you look back on the wall, okay, you see that cap up there? You got a cap over masonry. And if you look down the wall, I'll show you other pictures of it, you'll see K-rows in there. And so you're right, you got a PVC membrane on the top so you can't see shit. They just wouldn't cover up all the old stuff, right? So this is what it looks like from inside. All right, you can see the K-rows. All right, you see that structural member right there? Well, first of all, can you see the deck? Is the deck 4x8 sheets or 1x6?
1x6.
Okay. Is it 1x6?
Tongue and groove.
Tongue and groove?
So it's like from here.
Yeah, can you get that right? Now I just got fucking serious.
Anyway,
That camera. Okay. What do you think now? 4x sheets or slats? Okay. And just so we start talking through this, and I'll let you guys know where I expect you guys to be in the next 4 to 5 years. Okay, you got slats. What that structural member right there is called lead set. Have you guys heard of that?
no.
Okay. So when the structural members go right into the wall, rather than sitting on top, it goes into the wall, and they have the fire cuts. You read about the fire cuts, right? You've been through what, 5 fire cuttings? I know you've read this shit. Okay. Those fire cuts back then were designed so that should it burn, that thing pancakes. Okay, the reason they wanted to pancake is they didn't want the walls to push down and burn down the whole block or to take other buildings out. It was designed to fail within. Then after an earthquake in California, they came back and said, well, those just aren't safe because it wiggles some loose and boom, boom, boom. And they started tying them in. Okay, that's where you see the tie plates. Let's say probably half the buildings, the old ones, are tied in. What else do you notice? Okay, would you say those are 2-foot spans between? You can see the structural member down here and over here.
6, like 4.
Greater than 2.
Greater than 2. So would I have a 1x6 slat or maybe a 2x6?
2x6.
Probably a 2x6. Okay, the big nasty. Okay, bigger the spans, thicker the roof material. All right. So you just got to start putting these things together. These things are built with a purpose and a reason. All right. So that's the inside. Then you look up top here, it's a little closer. Okay. Bond beam caps. Sometimes they're poured. Sometimes you get these. They're cast iron, real brittle material over the top, and that's a dead giveaway to it's old and it has mats, and that's how it's put together. Off this building, they have a little add-on. It's lightweight.
Does that mean that it's reinforced once they put those beam caps on? Like-
Well, before they had steel, it'd be unreinforced, because before they had steel, that's why they put, so they go up, 7 rows, then a king row. It ties all that together. Okay, then you go up 7 more courses, another king row. It ties it all together. When they started putting the steel in there, they didn't have the need to any longer put king rows on there. And so that's what made it gave it structural integrity. So you won't find a bond beam cap when you have steel in the wall. Okay. But nevertheless, conventionally built, it's got mass, it'll take a pounding. So this is the, as you guys get off the freeway on 6 South, there's an antique place on the left as you're going down. Probably 450 West is the address. If you guys get a chance to walk through there, it's a great, great old building to look at. And there's a lion in there that I keep trying to buy. You guys should hear the
Is
price.
that near the gateway?
Kind of. 6 South. So as you get off the freeway, probably,
The back side of the gateway?
no, Gateway's more up to 2nd South.
By Liberty Park, right?
You know your city, dude. That baby's messing your brain up, isn't it? So yeah, kind of by the park, block over. So conventional versus lightweight.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
does the bond beam just, or the cap, is it weight or is it like a tie? What's the,
What ties it in? They used to take old cement, put it on top, instead of having all the bricks just going the opposite way. In order to tie all that in, they go back, pour old cement over the top, put a cap. And so rather than having another course of king row, it was that bond. It was kind of what solidified at the end, so you didn't have bricks flaking off and so forth. So you'll look at some of the older ones, you get on some of these older homes, you go on their old sewer stacks, those bricks are just waiting to fall off. I got hit in the head with one time. I had my helmet on, obviously. Well, not obviously, but you gotta watch out for those things. We were just sitting on top there, that old cement, it's not like cement they have today. And so as time goes on, stuff just flakes off. It's really untrustworthy. So, again, conventional. The decking is a minimum 1x6 planks. Sometimes you get 2x8. As you're cutting your inspection hole, if you see anything other than 4x8, it's usually a good indication that you're going to have nice conventional construction.
Was that picture on the right, would that be against construction for their cut?
Yes. Yep. Metal decks. Okay, this they're interesting. You arrive on a 200 by 300 concrete tilt building, lightweight construction. What does it tell you? Operating time is going to be minimal. I want to watch out for area of involvement and so forth, right? But if you guys will notice as you get to your concrete tilt buildings, some of them will have steel decks, some of them will have wood decks. I can't tell you from the ground how to differentiate other than your pre-fire plans when that stuff goes in. But otherwise, you're going to have to get up and see what's going on. Reason being, what happens to steel at 1,000 degrees? It expands, but I've never actually seen it expand other than like on Discovery Channel, because when there's load on it, it kind of sags. Makes sense. It's still expanding, it's just drooping. Okay? The difference is on lightweight metal decks, you're going to get a lot of indication that there's structural failure. And so if you're up top and you see a significant sag, you know that that area is compromised. It'd have to sag significantly to rip out of the wall. Sometimes it will happen, but you don't get the catastrophic failures on these like you might see with the lightweight wood. Okay. Deck is usually 14, 16 gauge corrugated steel. You'll hear Q deck, D deck, F deck. All that denotes is the width of corrugation and the depth. They have like A through double Z. So it's all steel deck. All right. The metal deck's fastened with trusses spaced 4 to 6 feet on center. Roof coverings are often 4 inches of insulation. So if there's not insulation on the bottom, there's insulation on top. If you have a steel deck and you have fire inside, the thing to watch out for is you can have a contents fire inside the building, and you can have a roof fire going on up top. Right? Metal heats up, that adhesive starts to melt. There's all these veins of air running down that thing. It pops open, and now you have a fire on top of the deck and fire underneath. Yeah.
That commercial fire we went on a couple months ago was like that.
Was it? Oh, you guys were opening up, and
Yeah.
we got a great video of our guys at Nordstrom's. The more they opened up, more fire there was. The more they opened up, more fire there was. If you're on a hose line, what can you do to prevent that?
Cool the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Right? One nozzle on the fire, the other one cooling the overhead. So that way it doesn't touch off. Just little things like that of recognizing how it's built. Okay, if you're topside, you open up a little and you start to give it air, have a hose line ready, because you're not ventilating necessarily, you're fighting a roof fire. Okay? So identification of them. Okay? If you have this concrete tilt building, is it class 1, 2, 3, what is it? Okay. So non-combustible, right? And so, again, you're working that building, you get up top, you're thinking it's all ordinary lightweight, you get up top, no, it's non-combustible, lightweight, and treated as such. Okay, you're looking for those 1,000-degree ceiling temperatures with contents today, not hard to get to. This is, when I look at failure of these roof systems, yeah.
So you're saying, you're calling non-combustible lightweight,
Mm-hmm.
so the non-combustible building, that one had metal joists, is that why?
Yeah, there's no combustible structural members, but you can expect some drooping and sagging versus that first post and column one was reinforced concrete. Okay, there's not going to be sagging in that thing. It's going to last forever. And so this one you are worried about sagging, the area of involvement, potential dead loads, but not necessarily your failure. Possibly a roof air handler coming through the roof or something like that, which would be fun. But when I look at failure on these, this is about the extent of failure that I ever find. Okay, looks a lot different than failure on, say, an ordinary lightweight. And you can see where all that sag takes place. You're going to have an indication that it's coming in. Very few failures on these because of the non-combustible nature, but this is about the worst one that I can find. And if you look at the whole picture panning back, it's just these big waves of sheet metal, which obviously if you were up top, you start uninvolved area, working uninvolved to involved, you get up there and you see a big sag in it. I'm going to let the guys inside know. Do you think they can see it? I doubt it. Okay. Lightweight metal gusset plate on a flat roof. We talked about the parallel cords. They can span up to 70 feet. Okay. Combination of large spans and weak connectors make it cause for rapid failure in the area of involvement. Again, I key in on the area of involvement. There'll be the chicken littles of the fire service that, the whole thing's coming in. Look at case studies, look at your experience. You'll find it in sections, all right? Now, I don't want to be on the section that does fail. and I don't want you guys to be underneath it. All right, so that's where good heads up, knowing the characteristics of if we're working out to get over where we're gonna cut a hole, and I have an inspection cut that I go in the deck with, and fire starts shooting out of there, I'm in the wrong spot. And so are the people underneath me. And if that whole area up to the firewall is involved, then we know that area is gonna be going pretty quick. Important information for people to have if you're working underneath. That's your responsibility if you're up on the roof. Okay, trusses are spaced 2 to 4 foot centers. Deck's using a 4x8 sheet of OSB. On my inspection cut, what would tell me that I'm going to have 4 foot centers on my trusses?
Just roll the rafters and just continuing that inspection cut to the next.
Yeah, you
rafter.
could. You could push it all the way through with a diagonal line. I think you'd end up with about a 6 foot run on that. You could do that. Okay, the other thing though is remember we talked about if it's 1x6, I'm going to have 2 foot centers. Okay, if it's 2x6, then I can have greater than 2 foot. If I get up there, and usually my residential is 9/16 OSB, but I get up on a flat roof and I cut over and it has 3/4 to 1 inch OSB, what should I expect my span of my rafters to be? Greater. Okay, and so it's just information that you guys need to start looking at and putting in your brains and figuring out how those things work. Bowstrung roofs, what do we know about them?
They're older.
Okay, kind of, sometimes.
Aren't they relatively strong?
Yeah, they are. And so when we used to start doing this, hack and sack was always fresh on people's minds. Oh, the thing's going to kill you. They make it sound like you're going to look at it and the thing's going to fall on you. Okay. You go back and you look at direct flame impingement on this sucker on the hack and sack, 47 minutes to an altered load on those things. Even 47 minutes, it'll take that whole goddamn roof off. Okay, plus work underneath it. And so they are strong. Characteristically, they are strong. Whether they're arch truss, whether they're angle iron. Okay, people have talked about angle iron. I'll show you some pictures here in a minute. But angle iron trusses are strong. They're not like rolled metal, and they're not thin. They're actually strong metal material that holds up quite well under fire. Okay, but you can see them by the customary hump. This one is out off Orange Street. You drive by and it looks like a strip mall, you get on top. At one time when we have the full picture of this, there's something like 11 bowstrung arches underneath that entire front. It's pretty fun to get up and look on. Okay. So, bowstrung truss. So far I've heard a number of different pieces of terminology used. Well, this one is bowstring, this one is arch, so forth. According to what your book says, according to what I know, okay, this is a bowstring roof. It has a top cord, it has a bottom cord, it has a web. This one's a timber truss, you'll find it angle iron trusses. Okay, they get confused because some people think that a bowstring roof has a cable that runs on the bottom instead of a tie cord. That's a tied truss, not a bowstring. Okay, so this is a bowstring roof, has bottom cord, top cord, and webbing. All right, the nice thing about them is when you get up to a bowstrung roof, pretty much everything you need to know, it'll show you on the outside and your understanding of it. All right, and we'll talk more about that with this one. Okay, so I like this picture because it shows kind of the old school way that they did things. So in order to set that truss, I have to set it on something beefier, right? So I have a large column that goes up. And if you walk down a lot of these bowstring roofs, you'll find about 30 of them on 9th West between 3rd North and 9th South, the old shops. I think I counted them one day. We have a ton of these. As you walk up, a lot of them have cinder block exteriors. You'll notice that most of that cinder block is brick laid, meaning it's offset with the layer below it and on down. Except you'll notice there are vertical columns of cinder blocks stacked one on top of the other. That's where your trusses sit. So if I'm going to ladder this, I can ladder the corners, which are strong. Corners aren't available. I want to go and set myself right on a bowstrung truss. And you can see them just by looking at the walls. Okay. So I also know, because we get the confusion where the arch-shaped hump goes this way, then the rafters go this way too. No. If the arch-shaped hump goes this way, then your rafters actually go perpendicular to it. And so I know where the strong points are to ladder. I know my rafter direction. I know where all the heat's gonna be, right? Because it's gonna be up in the top. They're easy ones to work from, okay? This is an angle iron truss right here. Okay, angle iron versus rolled metal. You'll see the parallel cord trusses with rolled metal. 16 gauge metal just rolled up to give it some structural integrity. They're gonna get heated up quickly. Okay, this angle iron, you're usually looking about 1/4 3/8 inch thickness. It's forged and it takes on a lot of heat. It lasts really well under fire conditions. By all intents and purposes, even though it's metal, it's still considered to be conventional. Okay?
The roll is the tube that you'll see in the open web.
Yes. Yeah, it's just a hollow tube and a real thin pipe, and they heat up quickly. Okay, versus solid angle iron ones.
Are they still building a lot of roofs like that?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, the truss system they have some new technologies, and you guys will start to see this. They're making those. The other ones are feather trusses, feather joint trusses. So if you guys are familiar with wood shop feather joints, basically they make fingers out of the wood, they slide them in together. And so what they're doing is they're taking and they're cutting feather joints into the bottom and top cords, and on the webbing, they slide that webbing in so it's finger jointed and they glue it together. 3M apparently has the adhesive, and apparently over 2,000 degrees it just increases the strength of the adhesive. And so when they first came out, I think it's in New Jersey, you know, back east, people were real emotional. They're gonna kill us. When they started doing tests on them, they were actually more solid because there were no weak connector points. Because you had this insulation, they were making it in a solid piece of wood, and they held up fantastically. And so it's actually an improvement. So they have all sorts of stuff coming out. The other thing you start thinking about is balloon frame construction. All right, I know you guys have had that pounded into you. What is it? You.
Void spaces that run from the bottom to the roof.
And how do they do that?
A single piece of wood.
Yeah,
right?
single piece of wood, right? 20-footer usually. And why do we have them now?
Why don't we have them now?
Yeah.
Because the fire can extend through and it creates drafts through the building.
That was expensive.
Yeah. That'd be cool if we were like that. Oh, these are dangerous. Let's fix this. Bullshit. We can't afford them. We can't find them anymore. Okay. Now they have LDL, laminated dimensional lumber. You got 2x4s. They take, you know, just like on plywood, strands of 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch pieces of wood. They glue them together. And now you have 60-foot long straight boards. What do you think you're gonna start seeing again?
Glass.
Balloon frame. And I've already seen it. So the newer houses, you know, you have these big ornate entryways. It used to be they had to frame those in with 2 8-footers, a head plate, and go on up. Now you got LDL that goes from bottom plate, top plate, and ridge boards, and so start looking for the stuff because it's coming back around. So, you know, get out of the books every now and again. I know you're getting a very big apprenticeship, to start looking and see what's out there. Did you get that video?
It did.
Finally. Nice. So I'm gonna read the fly. Okay. Sawtooth. Well, first of all, what was the need for sawtooth?
Light?
Light, right? So we'll find these on anything that's old. Those how they used to light up large industrial areas, right? And so when you see a sawtooth, typically now what are they replacing it with? Skylights on a flat roof, right? But if you see a roof line like that, you think it's lightweight or conventional? Yep, conventional. And so use these things when you're sizing up. If you see an old sawtooth, you're looking, you know, use that towards the edge of the building. You should be well served by that because they just don't do it anymore. It's all crappy little Home Depot skylights. So typically with conventional construction, okay, they just box out an area and they go ahead and build it up, and that's how they let light into these old industrial areas. Okay, we're almost done here, and then we'll get you out of here. So construction methods. This is the stuff that you guys have gone through in your books. Okay, use it, but also some of the stuff that we've talked about today, throw that in there because, like we talked about, type 3 and above doesn't quite cover what we need as far as failure times, right? Okay, even, you know, heavy timber, yeah, it's going to be heavier, so you know, heavy timber you should be okay. But ordinary wood frame, denoting whether it's lightweight or conventional, is huge. Okay, fire resistant construction, type 1. How do you know the difference between fire resistant and non-combustible?
It's got a coating on it.
It's got coating. So you go in the door, you rip open a wall, and you look for the coating.
No, that's the beams and stuff.
Okay. For me, if it's meant for, if it's a high life occupancy, typically it's gonna be fire resistant. But 1 and 2, you don't ever really know. And most of our high rises downtown, you think they're 1 or 2.
2.
Okay? Are they meant for high life occupancy? Is it a residential high rise or commercial? Okay, because a lot of them are type 1. So, you guys know the characteristics on that. Type 2, non-combustible. Showed you a couple of different examples of them. The biggest one to watch out for is your concrete tilt out here though. Okay, and so, again, getting in pre-fire planning, that's where that, I'm hopeful that that new inspection program will have that information on it. But then, kind of like what I saw in the room here, what's this? It's a home. It's ordinary, you know. Depending on who puts the information in there, they could be the biggest idiot on the job. And I can name you a few that have no business putting that stuff on there. And so take that information for what it is, but use your size up stuff and start looking at buildings and just size them up as you go to them. Okay, it's interesting to do, and a lot of times with the outside that you walk in, you'll start to notice you become more and more accurate. And you guys, with this job, you're never going to be totally safe. Okay, especially by the nature of it. That's probably why most of us do it. You're going to make best guesses and just get used to being wrong sometimes, and that's okay. As you walk around a building, you size it up, you walk in, it's something completely different, all right. But if I'm looking at the age of the structure, I'm looking at the thickness of the walls, you're just hedging your bet. You're Vegas odds, right? Don't guarantee a winner, but you got some inside information, okay? Type 2, non-combustible, limited combustible, the lower degree of fire resistance. Type 1, fire resistant, non-construction. Material with no fire resistance ratings may be used. Okay, so that's just definition. Ordinary. Size this building up for me.
Like,
Set windows, conventional, multi.
Like you guys got up there, like you have confidence. I don't care if you get it wrong. Is it old or new?
Old.
Okay. Are the walls thick or thin? Okay. So what are we going towards? Conventional. Do I have time to work on this?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you do. You guys are right. Right, and right. Get some confidence in it, start using it, and see where it takes you. Okay? What's that?
Apartment building.
Yep. So high life occupancy, ordinary, conventional built structure, we can get aggressive on it. We probably have to. All right? Ordinary construction, exterior walls, structural members are non-combustible. Interior structural members are completely or partially small dimensional wood, walls, beams, floors. They're all combustible. Masonry bearing wood. So basically you have all your masonry, your exterior walls, your bearing walls, and within them, you're going to be supporting the combustible parts of the structure. Okay? Heavy timber. You guys have been to this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys, let me ask you this. If you hadn't been in it, would you put it as ordinary?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Salt Lake specific. You guys will start to notice if you go down 4th West and 3rd West along the track lines, you're going to start noticing that a lot of ones that look like unreinforced masonry, you get in there, and they're actually heavy timber. Why? Age. So where did heavy timber come from? Mills, right? Industrial complexes, stuff like that. And back when, trains would come up, they'd load on their products, trains would go out. They didn't have lightweight construction, so they had to have large open areas to build stuff. And so heavy timber here, where does it sit? Right next to railroad tracks. So as you guys are out inspecting stuff, you know, start noticing those things. It's just food for thought and good sizing practices. Okay? 4x6 or greater heavy timber construction, exterior and interior walls, structural members, non-combustible, limited combustibles. Used mainly in old construction, factories, mills, so forth. You guys will see a lot of those, and it's actually pretty fun because I didn't really realize that, and just kind of dawned on me one day, talking to some old timer, one of those, who are you? Pick the old people's brains. They know stuff. There was stuff that was passed on to them that gets watered out from me telling it to you, so when you guys are out swinging, how the fuck are you going to swing? Find the old guy, pick his brain. And you're out doing these inspections because they have stuff to pass on to you. And that was something that I never even dawned on me. So, you know, look at those things. Wood frame. Not much to say about it. You guys are probably most familiar with this type of occupancy, but again, is it wood frame lightweight or is it wood frame conventional? Now I'll tell you right now, he said the houses, as far as structural collapse, I don't worry about it too much, you know, or if I was on a hose line inside. You know, most deaths occur on residential fires, but I think just because of the sheer number. But when you look at collapse on these things, they're not pulling people out of debris necessarily. It's usually the fire conditions or something, you know, medically related is why you have the fatality. And so, structural collapse not a big deal, but if it's on an apartment, you know, 3-story wood frame lightweight apartment, that could be a big deal. Okay, because I have larger spans. Usually I have, you know, if it's garden style, you know, a lot of open space, common space over the top, wants to run from one part to another. That's the part where I start getting, you know, all right, need to get to work and do it quickly. So wood frame, you know the characteristics of it. I'm not going to pound on it. Age of the building. We talked about a little bit on, you know, if it was built in the last 30 years, it's probably lightweight. So in your book, it'll talk about pre-30s, post-60s, and then lightweight. Getting to know those things, you know, as far as you know, unreinforced masonry, stuff like that. We talked about king rows. Does everybody understand what a king row is? You guys all gone out and identified what they are? Okay. I've even seen some facades now that are using the king rows to make them look like old stuff in the front of the building. So like we were talking earlier, look down the sides, look in the back, see what's really going on there. Okay, get to know your district. All right. This right here is pointing out the veneer finish. So this would be the front of the building. Okay, this is the side. On the side, you can see crappy mortar joints. You know, maybe it's not quite as decorative, but on the front, you find it perfectly smooth and looking good. The front's not necessarily going to tell the tale. Aesthetically, it'll be the best looking place, but look down the sides, look in the back. Okay, inset windows. Okay, so I have this inset window right here. So that tells me I got a thick wall. Start looking for flush set windows, and you guys will start finding lightweight stuff. All right, the one on the left, that one has steel. How do I know it? There's steel in that wall.
No king row.
No king rows. Okay, it's tied in with steel. I don't need anything to tie those together. Okay, older structures have lots of vertical and horizontal voids. All right, ton of center hall apartments downtown, and you can have a first floor fire, 2 stories above it, and an attic fire going. Okay, common pipe chases, common areas throughout the building. You know, they used to heat this as a system. They had old steam pipes, old light shafts, stuff like that, where when you start crawling around these things, you realize that there's a lot of common areas that you have to account for once you have a structure fire. Okay, what's the difference between contents and structure?
Things in the room while we're building.
Yeah, the contents within is burning, no big deal. Once I see the structure starting to go, now I really need to look at chasing it. If you have a fan in the door during contents, do I care? No. You gotta go?
Yeah, I think Jason and I will drive out to Sevens unless, how close are we to wrapping it up?
5 minutes.
Okay,
Well, you know what, no, go ahead and go. It'll probably take longer than that. I'm gonna go annoy some people.
Okay. We will be back.
So contents versus the structure. What's the differentiation in the smoke? Have you guys played with that at all yet? Raise your fucking hand, you're on the job now. What's the difference?
You'll see darker
Sure.
smoke with contents because it's petrochemical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see that black stuff going out there, and then one that's a whole different color, like brown looking, kind of dirty looking smoke. And you can pick the two right off, right? You guys can see them when they're happening. And so once it goes structural, if you got a fan in the door, take that thing out, because it'll start pumping through those voids, and now you're chasing fire. Okay, versus contents, you got a fan in there, you're using a window, no big deal. But once it goes to the building, it gets interesting. This one right here on the bottom, this is an old center hall apartment we found. This is the second fire that we had in it, and Chief Garcia, the PBV king, was in charge. He's pumping fans in that thing all over the places we're walking around, shutting them down. You know, people turn them back up or shut them down. And we get up top and we end up cutting a heat hole and laying a trench across this, and finally end up putting it out. But there's a nice screaming match on scene because we kept pushing it through the voids. Every time they turned back on, we'd have to go and chase down more fire. Flip side is, one of the things I like using them for is if we do have extension into the structure, as we're overhauling, before we leave, I'll fire up the fan and turn it in. See if I get smoke pushing anywhere. If I do, then I'll open up a void. So you can use it to your advantage, as well as being a disadvantage as well. Okay? New construction, post-70s, gain strength from the sum of all the structural members. Walls are typically 6 inches and less. Roof systems containing multiple members depend on one another for stability. When I talk about a roof system, what's the difference between a roof and a roof system?
Where the system would be like lightweight, where the systems kind of work together.
It's engineered. And so if I take any part of that system no longer operates correctly. Versus conventional, it's a roof, it's not a roof system. So the structural integrity of the roof is independent of the walls, unless we do what?
Time together.
Unless we tie it in. Once we tie it in, now it becomes a system, and now should the roof fall,
Push the walls.
push the walls out, up to 2.5 times the height of the wall. I've never seen one actually do that, but it could. So people that have seen it say it's quite impressive. So keep that in mind. Okay, new buildings are often airtight, compartmentalized. Why does that matter?
Heat, flash holes in heat.
It's going to hold in heat better, right? And so quicker things build up heat, things give off gas, more potential for flash. So if we arrive pre-flash on a newer build structure, I should be thinking about the potential for flashover, be very aggressive on ventilation, right? Get that thing vented. Or if you guys get there on a hose line, and you get in there, and it hasn't flashed yet, and it's holding in heat, you should be heads up, cooling the atmosphere, making things nice for you guys to go in. Versus old, things are gonna kind of leak like a sieve. They're just built a little bit different. So knowing that construction, okay? So new, 6-inch thick concrete tilt wall, or less, you're looking at 6 to 4 inches. The bottom one shows your flush set windows. That's the big one right there. Okay? Even old buildings where they go back and put vinyl windows in, they still put them into the wall where the old ones used to be. Okay? And so old versus new. This is the new stuff you have to look for and those potential problems. Okay, now questions? Anything? Okay, that's good. Get used to sizing stuff up, guys. So next time that we're out meeting and I can throw something up, I want to start hearing consistency because I'm not hearing as much out there as I want to. You guys are going to be the group that comes up over the next 20 years. Pound on that so that you have a good understanding of what you're walking into. Especially, like I said, on the areas, down here I don't worry about it too much. Everything shows its face pretty well. You get up in some of the areas on the east side where they really care. They want everything to mesh into the community. Here they don't give a fuck about the west side. So the east side wants to look nice. And so they put a lot of money into making buildings look old. They're actually new. And the old stuff, we got a little bit of room to gamble with. It's the new stuff that can bite you and bite you quick. It'll be interesting to find in that Kansas City one what they're dealing with. I don't know if when I was looking, it looked like all 4 walls kind of came in on that thing. And so it'll be interesting to see how it's put together. So everybody ready for the test? Yeah. You don't want to talk any shit because you want to put the landing on yourself? Yeah, come on, that's my Brad.